Hello friends, so this is a problem that I am going to discuss today. So this is basically a problem that is related with the pinch technology, but except the final pinch diagram. By using this example, I'll be teaching you how to sketch the hot composite curve and the cold composite curve. So basically this is the problem, and they have given us the temperature profiles, as you can very clearly see from this diagram. I don't need to explain and waste time on that. Here they have clearly mentioned the types of processes, and whether cold type or hot type, and the supply and the target temperatures. And also this is the diagram. I will just zoom it. Now this is the schematic diagram that explains all the processes, right? Okay, so now we will see how to obtain or how to sketch the hot composite curve and the cold composite curve, but in a future video I'll be explaining how to sketch the final pinch diagram. Okay, thank you. And also let me tell you one thing, that you know what is the pinch point. Okay, so I will read my note about the pinch point. So pinch point is basically, what is pinch point? What is pinch point, right? So if I say like that, so pinch point is where the smallest temperature, I will say temperature difference occurs uh, in an it's not in an in a heat recovery steam generator, right? So in other words, you can say HRSG. Okay, HRSG, right? And so smallest temperature difference means smallest temperature difference means the better utilization of the flue gas heat. Better utilization of the flue gas heat, right? So far that note would be enough for the understanding of pinch point. Okay, so now let's see the next part of the video. Thank you. Okay, right. So now we will see how to sketch the hot composite curve. Right. So our first target is to sketch hot composite curve. Right. So now before sketching this hot composite curve, the very first thing that you have to do is you have to identify what are the temperature profiles that we need in order to sketch the hot composite curve. Because in the problem, they are going to give us a lot of profiles, so we have to clearly identify, right? So in the first part, I have explained that. So now you need to sketch two axes, right? Two axes. This is temperature in degree Celsius, and this is delta H that comes in megawatts. This is also temperature in degree Celsius, and this is delta H in megawatts. Right. So now in this hot composite curve we need two axes. In the first axis we individually represent the respected curves for the for each and every single processes, right? For process 1 we sketch the curve individually, and also for the next process also we sketch the curve individually. Then in the next axis, this axis we need to sketch the combined hot composite curve, right? This is for combined hot composite curve, right? Okay, so now we have clearly identified what are the processes that we need in order to sketch the hot composite curve. that we are going to determine by looking at the supply temperature and the target temperature. So now you know, if the supply temperature is higher than the target temperature, such processes are considered as the temperature profiles where we need to sketch the hot composite curve. Right. So now look at your problem. Just look at reactor 1 product process, because I think in the problem there are 4 major processes. So now consider the process which is reactor 1 product that we have determined as for the hot composite curve. There you can see supply temperature 250, target temperature 40 degrees Celsius. And the next process that we need for the hot composite curve is where we have supply temperature 200 and target temperature 80. So now the next thing that you have to do is you have to identify what are the temperature positions, right? For one process we have 2 temperature positions. One is for supply and another one is for target, right? So like that, for 2 processes we have 4 temperature positions. So what are those temperature positions that we need? We need 250, 40, 200 and then 80. So now you can complete the temperature axis. I hope you can see. Now you can complete the temperature axis. 40, 80, 200 little bit above, then 250. 40, 80, 200 and 250. And now the next thing is delta H. So now in the problem they have already mentioned what is the value of delta H, but there is a problem, what is the sign of delta H? Okay, so now the next thing is how to consider the sign of delta H, right? Okay, let's see that. So now usually you know, if you are going to consider hot profile, the supply temperature is higher. Let's say like supply temperature is 250, target temperature is 40, right? So that is how we determine hot temperature profile. So now you can do something like that. Just get the difference of target minus supply. So if you are going to consider target minus supply, so it is 40 minus 250. Don't worry about the value, just worry about the sign. It is a negative value, negative 210, but anyhow it is a negative value. So if you are going to consider the difference, because difference is always final minus initial, here final is the target, initial is the supply, so it is a negative value. So for the processes that we are going to consider on the hot composite curve, delta H value for such processes are considered with the negative sign. That means if you are going to consider the hot process which is 250 to 40 and delta H value is already given, which is 31.5, but in some problems they will not give you the sign, right? So anyhow for the temperature process of 250 to target 40, delta H value is given as 31.5, but it is negative 31.5 because the reason we are going to consider target minus supply, that scenario. Okay, right. So it is negative. Now let's see how to sketch that. So what is the very first thing that you can do here? The first hot profile is supply 250 is targeted to 40, right? Let's say supply 250 is targeted to 40. Say something like this. supply 250 targeted to 40. Okay, straight line. Supply 250 targeted to 40. And now here you can consider there is a certain width is there. There is a width. So what is this width? So that width is the delta H value for that process. So what is the delta H value for supply 250 to target 40? 31.5. 31.5. Okay, right. Okay, so now tell me for the next process, hot profile, supply 200 is targeted to 80. So 200 is somewhere here, supply 200 somewhere there, so let's say somewhere here. This is 200 and this is 80. Supply 200 is targeted to 80. Supply 200 is targeted to 80. And what is this width? So that width is 30. Okay, right. So now we are going to consider something called FCP. FCP value, F multiplied by CP value. And here also we are going to consider something called F multiplied by CP value. So now let's see how to find that value. Right. Okay, let's see how to find that. The way of finding FCP value for this profile is the delta H value. What is the delta H value? 31.5. Divide that by the temperature difference. What is the temperature difference? 250, 40. But here you know, if I am going to consider delta H, the sign is negative because of a hot profile. What is the temperature difference? It is the target minus supply. So it is 40 minus 250. So it is finally here also we are getting something minus, top part also something minus. So it is 31.5 divided by 210. So 31.5 divided by 210, what is the value? 0.15. I hope you got it. So what is the FCP value there? The FCP value is 0.15 to this curve. Right. And so likewise in the similar manner, now let's consider the FCP value for this curve. What is the FCP value for this curve? So that is also easy. The delta H, as it is some process we consider for the hot composite curve, delta H value, the sign of the delta H value we are going to consider is negative. So it is negative 30. Temperature difference is target minus supply. There the target is 80. Supply is 200. So minus 30 divided by 80 minus 200 minus 120. So minus to minus you can cancel. This is 1/4 means 0.25 positive. So what is the FCP value to here? 0.25. Yes, done. So now the individual hot profiles are sketched for the two individual processes. So now the next thing that what you have to do is you have to combine that. the combined hot composite curve. That's the most interesting part. So let's see how to do that. So now this is something related with traveling, something like traveling, right? This is 200, right? Because I waited until to sketch this connecting line, connecting this dotted line, because if I sketch that at the very beginning, the diagram will get complicated. So that is why I waited. So now you can understand the hot composite curve. Now let's see how to combine that. Now combine that means, now here you have two sketches. In the combined curve you can't put two sketches, right? You have to put only one sketch. So that means you have to reach from 250 to the least value or to the lowest value, which is 40, through only a one curve, right? So you have to complete the destination, like you have to complete the journey from 250 to 40 by using only one curve. Okay, right? Let's see how to sketch that. So now let's just consider, when you are going to travel from 250 to 40, you can't figure out that at the same time. All the things you cannot figure out at the same time. So let's go step by step. First we will travel from 250 to 200, right? First we will travel from 250 to 200, right? So now if you are going to consider this curve has no any sort of relation for the temperature values above 200. So that is clear. But if you are going to consider this curve is related to the temperature range of 250, starting from 250 to below, right? Because by looking at the length of this curve, you can very easily say that this curve has no any sort of, because this curve cannot predict any sort of relation for the temperature values above 200, but this curve can, not for the temperature values above 250, for the temperature values below 250. That means, like, by using this curve you can predict or you can define the variation from 250 to 200. So that is no problem. So when sketching the combined curve, our first target is to complete the variation or the journey from 250 to 200, and that you cannot do by this curve because this curve is stopped at 200. So the only possible way to complete from 250 to 200 is by using this curve. So let's sketch like this: 250 to 200. What is FCP? FCP value is defined from the original curve that you are going to relate this journey. So what is the curve you are going to relate this journey? It is only this curve. So FCP value is 0.15. Right? So this is going down. So arrow must come like that because we are going down from 250. Starting from 250, we are going down. Right? Okay. And the next thing. So now you have reached from 250 to 200. No problem. Now what is the next target? Now next target is the journey from 200 to 80. Let me explain that again. Now the next target is, now you have to move from 200 to 80, because the reason this curve, like this curve, you can actually not a curve, this line, let's say curve, but anyhow this curve is a line, but okay, let's say this line you can use to define the temperature values between 200 to 80. I hope that is clear, because that is how this line is defined, so no problem. So not only this curve, even for temperature values in between 200 to 80, you can even use this curve also, right? This curve also relates the temperature ranges from 200 to 80, and in addition to that, this curve also can be used to define the temperature ranges from 200 to 80, no problem. So now from 200 to 80, let's sketch it. 200 to 80, that's the direction. 200 to 80 you can reach by the combination of both these lines, right? Because this line also can be used to define the temperature ranges from 200 to 80, and this line also, right? So what is the FCP value? FCP value, because both the lines can be used to define that, so that means you can combine that 0.15 plus 0.25. You can add the FCP value of this curve and that curve. So what is that? That is 0.4. So the FCP value for here is 0.4, right? Now the next thing. So now you have to travel from 80 to 40. So what is the only supportive relation, or what is the only supportive line or the curve that you can use in order to travel from 80 to 40? So we have only one line, we have only one curve that supports to the motion of 80 to 40, because you cannot use this line, because this line is only for 200 to 80. Only curve that you have is this curve, right? So by looking at the range of this curve can be used to travel in between 80 to 40. So what is the FCP value? FCP value you can put from this line. So now it is traveling from 80 to 40. FCP value is 0.15. 0.15. Okay. So now the combination part is done. Now what is the next thing you have to do? Now you have to sketch the delta H. This delta H, say delta H1, you have to find that. And then this delta H2, that means this width, the width of 80 to 40, delta H1, 200 to 80, delta H2, then this width, delta H3, this one, and this one, right? So that is also very easy. So let me do that here. Okay, so now you are going to find what is delta H1. What is delta H1? You know FCP, you know the relationship between delta H and FCP, you know that. What is FCP? That is delta H divided by the temperature difference. That means FCP equals delta H divided by the temperature difference, delta T, target minus supply, right? So now you have to find what is delta H1. How to find that? That is FCP multiplied by delta T. FCP multiplied by delta T. What is FCP? They are 0.15. What is delta T? 80 minus 40, so that is 40. So 0.15 multiplied by 40, how much? 6, right? So here delta H1 is 6. Understand? Right. But actually the delta H value is negative, keep that in mind. But here, as we are going to represent a width, we are not going to worry about the sign. Understand? Because now see guys, delta H is definitely negative based upon the original formula, you know that, but here we are going to represent a width, so you don't need to worry about the sign, right? So then what is delta H? Okay, so now you know FCP 0.4, that is positive, delta T, that is target minus supply. So target 80, supply 200, so 80 minus 200 is 120, minus 120, so minus 120 into 0.4 minus 48, right? But you are going to consider a width, right? So you do not need to worry about the sign. So what is this width, or delta H2? That is 48, this width 48, right? So now this is delta H2, okay, delta H2, okay. So now delta H3, right? So now delta H3, right? So what is delta H3? That is FCP multiplied by temperature difference, delta T. What is FCP for delta H3? 0.15, and temperature difference, that is target minus supply, 200 minus 50, 200 minus 50 minus 50, so it is 7.5 minus 7.5. Delta H3 is minus 7.5, as because we are going to consider width, you can say it as 7.5. Okay, so I think now the hot composite curve is explained, right? So that is how you are going to sketch the hot composite curve. I will again explain you the entire answer script as on the paper. So now this is the way to sketch it. Okay, so now we can consider how to sketch the cold composite curve. So I think now you already have an idea, so now you can complete that very easily. Cold composite curve. So before sketching the curve, first of all you need to identify what are the temperature profiles or the processes that you need. So by looking at the processes, you can identify that. So how to define the cooled profile? In a cooled profile, that is very easy. The supply temperature is lesser than the target temperature. So like that, if you are going to focus our problem, basically you can find two of such processes are there. One is reactor 1 feed, reactor 1 feed. Reactor 1 feed is where supply is 20 and target is 180, and delta H is 32. Now delta H is positive because the reason we are going to consider the difference. I told you, what is the difference? Difference is final minus initial. Final means the target, initial means the supply. So if I am going to consider the difference of final minus initial, it is a positive value. So because of that, delta H value is positive for cooled profiles. Okay, right. So like that, there are two cooled profiles for that. One profile is reactor 1 feed, supply 20, target 180, delta H 32. And the next process is reactor 2 feed. Reactor 2 feed. Reactor 2 feed means supply 140, target 230. Means the first temperature that you see is lesser than the temperature that you see after that. That means the supply is lesser than the target. So this process is related to the cooled composite curve. Delta H value is given as 27, but most of the time they will just give you the delta H value, but how to define the sign? It is positive. You know how to define that. Okay, right. So how to consider the FCP value? That we will see how to find that when you are going to sketch the curve. Right. Now I told you, you have to, now you already have an idea. So now you can very easily do this, so no problem. So now you need to sketch two axes, temperature, degree Celsius and delta H. Temperature, degree Celsius, delta H. Right. So now there are two temperature profiles. Right. So what are the, because now there are two processes, means one process is having supply side and the target side. That means there are two positions for one process. So like that, for two processes there are four positions. So what are the temperature positions we are going to need? We need 20, 180 and then 140 to 130, 140 to 130. So now you can sketch that. Let's say 20 somewhere here, 140 somewhere here, 180 somewhere here, 230 somewhere there. So here also we will complete that. Here we have 20. Now we can erase this one. 20, then 140, 180, 230. Okay. So now this is cooled composite type. So now I think you can remember in the previous case the arrow started to direct from the top side, like arrow started to direct from higher temperature towards the lower temperature. But now in this case arrow is directed from the lower temperature to higher temperature.